Students, let us continue with our chapter Energy Flow in an Ecosystem. Children, in the previous videos we have learnt about different types of organisms based on mode of nutrition, food chain and food web in detail. In today's video I am going to start with the new topic, that is the energy pyramid. That's the new topic we are going to learn today. Before I start with the energy pyramid, let me talk about what you mean by trophic level. What do you mean by trophic level? This is something which I have discussed in the previous video also. Trophic level is nothing but each step in a food chain is called as a trophic level, or we can say each level in a food chain is termed as trophic level. That is something that we should know, children. For example, if I have a food chain, say grass eaten by herbivores, herbivores eaten by carnivores, carnivores eaten by apex consumer. Apex consumer can be any organism that will form the top level of the food chain. That is apex consumer. It can be omnivores or it can be any other organism which cannot be eaten by other animals, right? So here you know that grass is a producer, herbivores are the animals which eats grass or the plants, carnivores eats other animals, and apex are the one which eats carnivores, or even they can eat the herbivores, right? Now if each level that you can see here, each step of the food chain is termed as trophic level. That you should know, children. If you are going to observe a trophic level, you will see that the energy which is passed from one trophic level to other trophic level will go on decreasing. That means the energy obtained by herbivores will be only part of grass. They will not get the entire energy that the grass contains. Same thing with carnivores, will not get the entire energy that the herbivores has. Neither the apex are going to get the entire energy that the carnivores has. So the amount of energy that is passed from one level to the other level will go on decreasing. So this is what they form a pyramid. They form a pyramid which is called as energy pyramid. That means the energy goes on decreasing at every level. If you are going to look at your textbook, page number 82, you will see in diagram 7.3, if you can see this, children. This is one of the food chain, what they have shown, and they have shown the trophic levels. Children, the producers, that is the plants, they form the first trophic level. It is written here, producers. Please make it as a first trophic level. Herbivores will form the second, carnivores the third, and the omnivores, that is apex consumer, in this case they will form the fourth trophic level, right? As I told you, the energy that's going to be passed from one trophic level to the other trophic level will go on decreasing. Children, you should know this, that it's not only the energy that will go on decreasing. Even the number of organisms that is going to occupy the trophic level will also decrease. That means the number of producers will be always greater than the number of herbivores. The number of herbivores will be always greater than the number of carnivores, and the number of carnivores will be always greater than number of apex consumers. So always you should know this, that the amount of energy is also going on decreasing. Even the number of organisms that is occupying the trophic levels will also go on decreasing as we move from the bottom to the top. Is that clear, children? Now the question arises, as now I told you that the energy goes on decreasing, how much energy is passed on to the next trophic level is what is the question. That the question's answer is the energy passed from the one level to the other, that is they follow 10% rule. They follow the 10% rule or 10% law. What is this 10% law? We are going to see now. The energy that is getting passed from one trophic level to the other trophic level, only 10% of the energy is getting passed. That means you all know that the grass gets the energy from the sun. The energy that is the grass gets is the solar energy. This solar energy, part of the solar energy, the grass stores in their body in the form of food. When this food is eaten by the herbivores, the energy gets passed from the grass to the herbivores. Now, if suppose the grass contains 10,000 kilocalorie of energy, if the grass is having 10,000 kilocalorie of energy, how much energy the herbivores will get? Then they follow the 10% rule. That means only 10% of 10,000 will be passed on to the herbivores. So how much is that? 10% means 10 upon 100, of means into 10,000. So it comes to 1000 kilocalories. So herbivores will get only 1000 kilocalories of energy. Right? So only 10% of 10,000 is passed to the herbivores. How much the carnivores will get? 10% of 1000. So it becomes 10 upon 100 into 1000. So it is 100 kilocalories of energy is passed to our carnivores. That much will be passed to carnivores. How much? So how much these carnivores are getting now? 100 kilocalories. So how much the apex will get now? 10% of 100. So it is 10 upon 100 into 100. That is 10 kilocalories of energy the apex consumers will get. Right, children? So if you can see, the amount of energy obtained in each level is going on decreasing. It is going on decreasing. This is what is known as energy pyramid. This is what is called as energy pyramid. That means the energy that is passed from the producer till the apex consumer goes on decreasing, and even the number of organisms goes on decreasing. This is what is called as pyramid of energy or energy pyramid. And how much energy has been passed, that they follow the 10% rule. I hope this is clear to you, children. Now if you are going to see your textbook 7.4, figure 7.4, they have given you an aquatic ecosystem where phytoplanktons, they are nothing but they are the producers, they are aquatic plants. The zooplanktons are the herbivores which are completely depend on phytoplanktons for their food. Fishes eat the zooplanktons and the humans eat the fishes. So here humans form the highest trophic level, that is the apex, they are the apex consumers. Right? Now these phytoplanktons, which are they are having 10,000 kilocalories of energy. You can see according to the 10% rule, zooplanktons get 1000, fishes get 100, and the humans get 10 kilocalories of energy. Just now I explained how the energy is getting decreased. So from this you can clearly see that the vegetarian food is more energetic as compared to the non-vegetarian food. That means if a person is eating the vegetables more, that is they are vegetarians and they eat the vegetables, they will get 10% of the energy that is present in the plants. Directly they will get 10% of that energy. That means 1000 kilocalorie they will get according to this. Right? If the same thing the person is eating fish, how much energy that person is getting? They are getting only 10 kilocalories. So it makes very clear that vegetarian food is more energetic as compared to the non-vegetarian food. Right, children? So I hope this thing is clear to all of you. In the next video we will see how decomposers play an important role in the food chain. Thank you.